What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Since SNL alum Jason Sudeikis has not one, but two movies out this week, Angry Birds 2, which opens tomorrow. Seeing that tomorrow, and I'll give you my review for that. And since he's also in a movie called Drive-In, which comes out in limited release Friday, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Jason Sudeikis movie, because I've always been a fan of the guy ever since, his SNL days, and I've always appreciated Jason Sudeikis. Like, that guy could do comedy. The guy's pretty good with dramatic stuff too. So, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Sudeikis films. Oh, and I should mention, he is probably one of the luckiest guys ever. The guy is married to Olivia Wilde. If that isn't the luckiest guy in the world, I don't know what is. So, yeah, that guy definitely has it all. Alright, coming in at number 10 is going to be a film. It's going to be a Netflix film, actually, called Kodachrome. Now, Jason Sudeikis stars as this struggling executive who ends up finding his world turned upside down when his father, played by Ed Harris, is pretty much sadly is facing terminal cancer, and his dying wish is for him to join his son on a road trip from New York City to Kansas. And they're also teamed up with pretty much the dad's nurse, played by Elizabeth Olsen, and there's like a romantic drawing between both Olsen and Sudeikis, which I thought they had an interesting chemistry. I thought Sudeikis and Olsen was both pretty good in this. Ed Harris, I thought, gave a tremendous performance. I mean, this is definitely one of the better Netflix movies that got released. It's a great road trip film, and I'm a sucker for road trip movies. It's a really good heartfelt film, and Sudeikis and Ed Harris, their father and son dynamic duo was really great. And if you guys haven't seen Kodachrome yet, go check out. It's on Netflix, obviously, so definitely give that one a shot. Alright, coming in at number 9 is going to be a film called Race. Now, this film stars Stephan James as young Jesse Owens, who of course becomes a track and field sensation while attending the Ohio State University in the early 1930s. And Jason Sudeikis plays his coach, Larry Schneider, who pretty much coaches him to victory and all. Race was really good. I mean, I gotta say, this movie is not only just good, it is underrated. I mean, the movie got released in 2016, and people barely talk about this film today. It's a really magnificent film. And Jason Sudeikis, I mean, it was an interesting role to see Jason Sudeikis do. I mean, him as a coach was pretty cool. Stephan James as Jesse Owens was perfect. I mean, it really showed who Jesse Owens was, and I mean, it of course takes place in the early, kind of in the 30s, and he has to Stefan has to overcome racism at home and abroad and all, and really Jason Sudeikis' Larry character is really the one that really believes in the guy, and he coaches him to victory, and yeah, I mean, Jason Sudeikis had a really interesting performance here. I mean, I think there could have been a chance. I think Jason Sudeikis could have gotten an Oscar nomination for this, because he was actually that good in this movie. And if you guys haven't seen Race yet, go check it out. It's a really terrific film. Coming in at number 8, well, the sequel is out this week, so why not? Coming in at number 8 is the Angry Birds movie. Now, this is, of course, based on the app game, and when they announced an Angry Birds movie, I thought it sounded like a dumb idea. I mean, how are you going to do a movie based on that game, like the app game? But man, Angry Birds was great. Jason Sudeikis, landed his voice as the role of Red, and I thought Jason Sudeikis was perfect for that role. And of course, he also had Danny McBride, Peter Dinklage was in this, Sean Penn, Josh Gad was in this. Really good cast, and And I thought, Jason Sudeikis, I thought really nailed it here. And it was really cute. It was funny. It was entertaining. And even though the trailers haven't really been all that good, I'm still quite interested in Angry Birds 2. So hopefully the film is good, because the trailers for Angry Birds 2 has not sold me. So hopefully the film is much better than the trailers, but we'll see. Alright, coming in at number 7 is actually not much of a big role of his, but it's actually a really cool role. And it's actually one of my favorite movies of the year, by the way. Coming in at number 7 is going to Booksmart. Now, Booksmart is probably probably my third or second favorite movie of the year so far. I really love Booksmart. It's really funny. It's clever. It's a really great, it's great teen comedy. And here, Jason, and not to mention, it's directed by Jason Sudeikis' wife, Olivia Wilde. So there's that. And Jason Sudeikis actually plays, the lead's principal here. And either Jason Sudeikis' roles in this was really funny. My favorite part, my favorite scene with Jason Sudeikis in it was when he was, ended up being their Uber driver, and the two girls are ending, accidentally, they're pretty much, watching, an adult video, and so and so when he ends up putting the phone, to the radio, he actually thinks it's Cardi B that they're listening to, and it's really good. I love this movie. I saw it about twice. It's definitely one of my favorite, and it's actually one of the biggest surprises of the year, because I knew this movie was gonna be decent, but I didn't expect to love it this much. And yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to check out Booksmart yet, go check it out. It's a really funny flick, and that's probably one of my favorite comedies of the year as well. So. Alright, coming in at number 6 is going to be a film called Sleeping with Other People. Now, this film is pretty much about these two college friends, played by Alison Brie and Jason Sudeikis, who ends up meeting 12 years later and discover that they have the same problem, and they're not really great at dealing with relationships, so they decide to pretty much sort of have a friends with benefits with each other. So yeah, this is another one of those friends with benefits based movies. We had friends with benefits, then there was no strings attached, and now sleeping with other people, and then at times they also end up sleeping with other people and all. It's a really funny, nice little film. I mean, you got it's directed by Leslie Headland, who I thought did a great job at directing this. Sudeikis and Alison Brie they both had some really good chemistry with one another. I thought they were both really good here. You also had, not to mention, Amanda P was in this. The dude from the league, Jason Mantzoukas, I always mispronounce his last name, but he's the dude from the league. He was great in this. You also had Adam Scott, Natasha Lyonne was in this, Adam Brody. I mean, really interesting. Interesting cast members were in this, and it was also directed by the lady who directed episodes of Russian Dolls, which is of course a Netflix show. Yeah, directed this. Leslie Helly directed episodes of Russian Dolls. She did the movie Bachelorette. I know she did a cool job with this movie. I mean, it's a really nice little romance film. It's a romantic. Yeah. You have to do a left to right. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's a nice, cute little rom-com. I mean, yeah, if you guys haven't seen Sleeping with Other People yet, it's kind of an underrated film, not to mention. But definitely go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Alright, coming in at coming in at number 5 is going to be a film called Hall Pass. Now, this movie is also completely underrated. I mean, Hall Pass is directed by the Farrelly brothers, who also gave us, Dumb and Dumber, and There's Something About Mary and all. Not to mention, Pierre Farrelly just directed Green Book, which won an Oscar. And this film's about these two best friends, played by Owen Wilson and Jason Sudeikis, who have pretty much been married, for a long time with their wives. Janet Fisher plays Owen Wilson's wife, while Christina Applegate plays Jason Sudeikis' wife. And they decided they had sort of had enough with their marriage and their relationship and all. So what they actually decided to do is their wives actually end up giving them a hall pass so they could see other people. And it's a really funny little film. I mean, you had an interesting performance by Richard Jenkins. He had a cool performance. Christina Applegate was decent. Stephen Merchant was also in this. You also Jason Sudeikis and Owen Wilson both had cool chemistry with one another. Such a really funny little film. I mean, if you guys still haven't had a chance to check out Hall Pass, I mean, the movie got released in 2011, and people still barely talk about the film. It's actually really good. And, yeah, if you guys haven't seen Hall Pass yet, go check it out. It's a really funny film. Alright. Okay. Coming in at number 4. Yeah. Coming in at number 4. Okay, this movie is also completely underrated. And this movie also got released in 2011, by the way. Actually, 2011 was an interesting year for Jason Sudeikis. Not think of that. But coming in at number 4. Oh boy, I can't believe I'm being able to talk about this movie because it's a little bit of an awkward film to really talk about. And I'm out in public, so it's a bit of an awkward film to really talk about in public. But my number 4 favorite is going to A Good Old-Fashioned Orgy. Yep, that's literally the title. The title of this movie is called A Good Old-Fashioned Orgy. And you guys can probably take a guess what the movie's about. I mean, it's pretty much about this, this man, played by Sudeikis, who ends up deciding to sell, his Hampton estate, and so him and friends end up trying to celebrate the end of their summer, and they kind of to end their summer, all the friends decide to get together and have an orgy. That is literally what this film is about. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it is, of course, a sex comedy because it's an orgy movie. Also, it had an interesting cast. Jason Sudeikis was great in this. You also had Tyler Labine, Nick Kroll, Michelle Borth, Lucy Punch, Lindsay Stallone, Will Forte was in this. Lake Bell, Leslie Bibb, Don Johnson was terrific. I mean, Don Johnson actually plays Jason Sudeikis' dad in this, so it was pretty funny to see Don Johnson in this. And yeah, it's a really interesting little comedy, very underrated, but this is definitely not a film for everyone, because it is, it doesn't have as, despite being a sexual film, it doesn't have that many, explicit stuff or anything, but it's still pretty raunchy, and yeah, if you guys, seriously, if you guys never seen A Good Old-Fashioned Orgy, do yourself a favor, go watch that film. It's really funny, and it's hysterical, and you'll thank me later. Alright, gotta talk a little loud because there's a big truck in the way. But anyway, coming in at number 3 is going to Colossal. Now, Colossal is You know, I'll just wait till the truck passes by. Alright, now back to this. Anyway, Colossal, stars Anne Hathaway as this as this pretty much out of work party girl who pretty much lives in New York City, and she ends up getting kicked out of her apartment by her boyfriend, played by Dan Stevens. And there's like news ends up reporting that a giant creature is destroying South Korea, and so like turns out the creature that's above is pretty much a drunken self. Like, it's kind of a weird movie to really explain, to be honest with you. Like, it's kind of really weird. And Jason Sudeikis actually plays like her, like pretty much her college best friend, and they end up getting together, and yeah, it's a really weird and interesting film. It also turns out that Jason Sudeikis also has a pretty much like when Jason Sudeikis ends up getting drunk, there's also a monster that's attacking, which is even more eviler and all. And there's like he becomes evil throughout the whole film. This is a bit of a spoiler, by the way. But yeah, Colossal it's a weird film, but it's actually no, it kind of has like a Godzilla feel to it, and it's like it is one of the most original sci-fi movies I've ever seen. I mean, it is part sci-fi, it's part comedy, and I quite enjoyed it. It's kind of dumb at times, and you don't really you don't really root for Anne Hathaway's character because she's kind of miserable, to be honest with you. But it's still a really interesting film. I mean, it's also directed by Nacho Bel. I can't remember how to pronounce that name. I think it's Belcizzo or something like that. I know his first name is Nacho. I can't really remember how to pronounce his last name, but he did a really cool job with this movie. And yeah, if you guys never seen Colossal by now, go check it out. It's a really good one. All right, coming in at number 2 is going to Horrible Bosses. I told you, 2011 was kind of an interesting year for Sudeikis. He had Horror Pass, he had a good old fashioned orgy that year, and he also was in Horrible Bosses. And Horrible Bosses is a really hysterical comedy. It's about these three employees played by Jason Bateman and Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis, who not really deal with their bosses. Like Kevin Spacey actually plays Jason Bateman's boss, while Colin Farrell plays Sudeikis' boss, and Jennifer Aniston actually plays Charlie Day's boss. And so pretty much the three employees decide to have a way to they decide to go out and kill other bosses. So yeah, there's that. And they also try to hire this hitman, pretty much this criminal named I'm not even gonna pronounce the criminal's name, but it's played by Jamie Foxx. And if you guys seen Horrible Bosses, you know what Jamie Foxx's character's name is in this movie. And yeah, Horrible Bosses is hysterical. I mean, I really like the chemistry between the three leads. Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day all were great in this film. You also had Leslie Stallone, who was also in A Good Old Fashioned Orgy. She was great in this. Like, she plays Charlie Day's wife here. And it was pretty cool seeing Colin Farrell in this shit. Like, a bit of a spoiler, but he didn't have that much of a biggest role in this because Colin Farrell's character. Spoiler for Horrible Bosses, but Colin Farrell's character ends up pretty much getting killed by Kevin Spacey's character. So, yeah. But you know what? If you guys still have not had a chance to check out Horrible Bosses yet, like Horrible Bosses 1 and 2 are both hysterical films, and Yeah, definitely go check out Horrible Bosses if you guys haven't seen them. They're a really funny flicks. Oh, and also, just like I said, Jennifer Aniston have worked together a whole lot too. I noticed because coming in at number one is another movie where Jennifer Aniston and Jason Sudeikis wasn't together. My favorite Jason Sudeikis movie of all time is going to We're the Millers. We're the Millers is flat out hilarious. I mean, here you've got Jason Sudeikis as this pot dealer named David, who who's a drug dealing boss played by Ed Helms wants him like to pretty much go to Mexico to pick up the latest shipment, and he decides to hire a fake family played by like one which you got a a stripper here played by Jennifer Aniston. He ends up hiring her to pretend to be his wife, and Will Poulter and Emma Roberts, he hires them to be their kids. It's really funny. It's very raunchy. You also had Nick Offerman was in this. Great performance by Nick Offerman. This is a really cool. I guess you could call it a stoner movie at times, but they barely get stoned in this, so I guess you can't really consider this as a stoner film. And yeah, I also like even though they weren't like real families in this, you really felt like the family dynamic chemistry between the four leads. And like I said, Jason Sudeikis and Jack Franson, those two work together perfectly. Like their chemistry is so good. Like you'll be mistaken if you thought that they were actually dating in real life, because that's how good their chemistry was. And then if you guys haven't seen We're the Millers, by the way, I'm still hoping we see a sequel, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get that sequel, but whatever. But if you guys haven't seen We're the Millers yet, go check it out. It's a really funny comedy, and yeah, I really love that movie. Although, even though I like Ed Helms in this, I still could never really buy him as like a drug mule. To be honest, yeah. That's one big problem I have with this movie. Like, I really couldn't buy Ed Helms as that character. But that being said, We're in the Mills is still an awesome film. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Chrome. 9, Race. 8, Angry Birds. 7, Booksmart. 6, Sleeping with Other People. 5, Hall Pass. 4, A Good Old Fashioned. 4, A Good Old Fashioned Orgy. Had to be careful how I said that out loud. 3, Colossal. 2, Horrible Bosses. 1, We're the Millers. Now, Jason Sudeikis has done other stuff in the past. Let me pull up his credit list. Definitely not Masterminds. That movie was pretty horrible. Tumble Down was a really nice little comedy with him and Rebecca Hall. Unpopular opinion, but I really like movie 43. I know I'm going to get hate for that one, but whatever. He was in The Campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis. That was pretty funny. Going the Distance with Justin Long and Drew Barrymore. Definitely not Downsizing. That movie was kind of terrible. He was in Mother's Day. Definitely not The Bounty Hunter, which also had Jennifer Aniston in it. He was in the movie Next Gen. Drinking Buddies. Yes, Jason Sudeikis is the man. He's been in some really cool stuff, and I've always been a fan of his. So, but let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite Jason Sudeikis movies? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T Movie signing off.